I have to tell you that getting to know Jay, you guys know him as Jeezy, he's Jay to me. Getting to know him has been one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. Oh. We're grown, we're in our 40s. And what I think is that God somehow managed our timing so that we spent time after our long-term relationships. We both came from 10-year relationships. And we really worked on ourselves to really understand what healthy love is like. Love black guys, yeah. I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. You know, that's why I married white. Yeah, that's what I like. When you let your mind start to fabricate and make up ideas about other people's marriages and situations that are not there, and you start making yourself get sick with insecurity because of playing out this situation. Who knows what that man was doing? Who knows about his marriage? We don't have a right to talk about it. But at the end of the day, you gotta worry about yourself and your own lane and about what you can do. But it doesn't matter. Do you not agree that you should protect your marriage? No, that you should protect your marriage. Protect your marriage by loving your husband and making his eyes so here that he's not paying attention to anything else.
The calm, polished image is gone. Jeannie Mai has officially had enough, and she's breaking her silence in a way nobody expected. The woman who once defended Jeezy with tears in her eyes on national TV is now done protecting him.
Ladies, always remember, if he chose somebody else, congratulations, you won. He did you a favor. If he chose somebody else, he did you a favor, girl. Bye.
Because behind the perfect family photos, the soft quotes about healing, and the podcast smiles, Jeannie says she was being used. And now that she's free, she's exposing every move that turned their so-called love story into one long performance. For months, fans were confused. How did one of Hollywood's most inspirational couples, two people who preached growth and spiritual alignment, crash like this? But the truth Jeannie's revealing now cuts deep. She says everything Jeezy built with her was calculated. From the day he slid into her life, he wasn't looking for love. He was looking for an image.
You know, just always instances where I just knew that this wasn't gonna work out for me, right? So I had to figure out how to change without losing everything.
One thing for anybody who has gone through divorce or anybody who has left somebody and you look back, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah, it's so much easier to make excuses for the bad circumstance that you're in or the bad situation. Oh, it's just right now, or he's going through something, or it's just a phase we're going through. But at the end of the day, your intuition, your gut, and who you really want to be will always be there to nudge you and move you. And until you move it.
Jeezy and Jeannie are getting divorced, and he's the one that filed. And this isn't from like TMZ. This is from agency Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
According to Jeannie's circle, she's been quietly piecing together the timeline, and what she discovered broke her. She realized Jeezy didn't just fall out of love. He had been preparing his exit long before she even sensed a shift. He was crafting a rebrand, turning himself from the street legend who'd survived chaos into the calm, disciplined family man who'd found peace. And Jeannie, she was the perfect co-star for that storyline. Because let's be real, Jeannie's transformation was part of his script too. She gave up everything she once stood for to make it work. The woman who said she'd never marry again, never have kids, never let another man change her. Suddenly, she was wearing a ring and raising his daughter, and Jeezy used that transformation as proof that he was the man who could heal her. It was the perfect PR pairing. The hustler turned philosopher. The talk show queen turned doting wife. Together, they sold a picture of redemption and love that the internet ate up. But what Jeannie's revealing now? That entire image was built on manipulation. She says the first cracks started appearing months before the world knew. While she was flying with him to Vietnam, showing him her roots, introducing him to her culture, he'd already signed the divorce papers. He was smiling for the cameras, posting family man captions, calling her the glue that holds us together, while secretly planning to leave. That revelation hit Jeannie like a bullet. People close to her say she didn't even cry at first. She just went silent. The betrayal was too heavy to process. Because this wasn't just a breakup, this was a humiliation. He let her build him up publicly, let her promote his book, call him her inspiration, and then blindsided her with paperwork. Not a conversation, not a warning, just an envelope. And here's where things turn even colder. Jeezy didn't even announce it himself. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution broke the news before TMZ. That's how official and how cold it was. Jeannie's sources say she felt like she was living with a stranger. While she was talking about love and family on the real, he was sitting on notarized documents, pretending everything was fine. And what hurt the most wasn't that he left. It was how easily he performed. Because just weeks before, he posted a Happy Mother's Day tribute, praising her as the glue that holds us together, the same man who'd already filed to tear it all apart. Jeannie now says that was the moment she realized who she'd really married. Not a partner, not a protector, but a performer. Every sweet caption, every red carpet look, every quote about peace, was part of an act. And once she gave him the storyline he wanted, the wife, the baby, the redemption arc, he walked away like the role was complete. Fans have been split, but Jeannie's not holding back anymore. She's saying straight up, he used her healing as marketing. He knew her vulnerability. He knew she'd been hurt before. He studied her interviews, her pain, her therapy journey, and positioned himself as the man who could fix her. And the moment she let her guard down, he flipped the script. Behind the scenes, she's been telling friends that what she feels isn't heartbreak. It's betrayal on a soul level. She says, he didn't just leave me. He broke the version of me I built after my pain. Meanwhile, Jeezy's keeping that signature cool. He's out here talking about growth, posting quotes about letting go and acting unbothered. But fans aren't buying it anymore. The receipts are too clear. He'd been preparing this exit since early summer. Lawyers, notarizations, strategy. The man had a plan while his wife was planning their next family trip. The optics alone made people sick. One fan commented, he let her love him out loud while he was planning to leave in silence. That's not maturity, that's manipulation. And the public started seeing the pattern. Jeezy has always been about control, about narrative, about image. And Jeannie says that's exactly what he did here. Controlled the story, controlled her trust, and controlled when the curtain fell. Now, she's rewriting that script in real time. The quiet, polished Jeannie from The Real is gone. What we're seeing now is raw, emotional, and unapologetic. She's saying the things women are often too scared to admit. That love can look healthy and still be toxic. That manipulation can wear a calm face and speak softly. That sometimes, the man who teaches you peace is the one who planned your pain. Jeannie's latest posts are hitting like poetry but reading like daggers. She's not naming names, but the subtext is crystal clear. A man who loves you doesn't embarrass you. I healed you, and you hurt me. The truth doesn't need validation. Every post feels like a chapter of her healing, and a warning shot to him. But this isn't just about revenge. Jeannie's story is turning into a bigger conversation. One about women who change themselves for love, about partners who brand themselves as healed while hiding their damage, about what happens when emotional manipulation hides behind mindfulness. And that's exactly why her next move matters. Because Jeannie's not just telling her truth, she's reclaiming her story. Because when a woman who's been silenced finds her voice again, it doesn't come back soft, it comes back sharp. The longer this divorce drags out, the clearer it's becoming that Jeannie's not trying to fix an image. She's rewriting it. The quiet, composed woman everyone once saw on daytime TV is gone. What's left is a woman who's done hiding behind politeness. Every move she makes now feels intentional, like she's reclaiming pieces of herself one headline at a time. People close to her say she's stopped trying to understand why Jeezy did what he did. The obsession with the reason has been replaced with something deeper: acceptance. Not forgiveness, not yet, but acceptance that what they had was built on conditions, not connection. He loved her as long as she served his purpose. The moment she started standing on her own again, he detached. What hurts most for Jeannie isn't just losing her marriage. It's realizing how easily her love was repackaged as branding. Every post, every photo, every speech about healing love was used as a mirror to make him look evolved. And now that mirror's shattered, the reflections don't match. Behind the scenes, she's been documenting everything. Not to expose him out of spite, but to make sure her truth never gets rewritten. She's been keeping journals, screenshots, even old drafts of captions she never posted. Because she knows how stories like this get twisted when the man speaks first. And when Jeezy started hinting that she was too close to Mario Lopez, Jeannie saw it for exactly what it was: deflection. Instead of owning up to his deception, he tried to shift the spotlight. That one rumor showed her everything she needed to know about how far he'd go to protect his image. It wasn't just about love anymore. It was about ego, control, narrative. The moment Jeannie realized that, she switched from heartbreak to strategy. The next time she showed up online, she wasn't crying or explaining, she was glowing. Simple outfits, natural makeup, no wedding ring, and the calm confidence of someone who stopped begging to be understood. Every photo since then has carried that same energy. Peace with a pulse. The kind of peace that comes after you've cried every tear and realized the storm didn't drown you, it cleaned you. Meanwhile, Jeezy's been trying to hold on to that Zen image he's built. But the tone's changed. His quotes about truth and timing don't sound wise anymore. They sound defensive. Fans are catching on that the same man who preached loyalty and growth filed divorce papers behind closed doors while his wife was praising him in interviews. The timelines don't lie, and people remember receipts more than sound bites. What's wild is how the power dynamic has flipped completely. When this story broke, Jeannie looked broken and Jeezy looked in control. Now, he's the one who looks unsure, And she's the one people are calling the definition of soft power. She doesn't have to drag him. His own silence is doing that for her. And she's not just moving on emotionally, she's rebuilding her brand from the ground up. She's been turning down interviews that want to sensationalize her pain, focusing instead on creating content about healing, motherhood, and growth without pretending it's pretty. She wants the truth messy, because that's how healing actually looks. Fans say you can hear the difference in her voice now. There's no more nervous laughter, no sugarcoating. When she talks about boundaries, you feel that she means it. When she says, "I learned the hard way that love without respect isn't love," it doesn't sound like a quote. It sounds like experience. And maybe that's what makes her story so powerful now. Because Jeannie isn't just exposing Jeezy's manipulation. She's exposing a whole pattern that too many people recognize. The pattern where love feels like safety until it starts to feel like strategy. Where peaceful men use spirituality to mask selfishness. Where women are told to be understanding while they're quietly being erased. That's why people are rooting for her. Not because she's perfect, not because she's loud, but because she's finally free. Jeezy can talk about peace all he wants, but the truth is, peace doesn't come from control. It comes from letting go. And that's exactly what Jeannie's doing. Letting go of the marriage, the image, the guilt, the need to defend herself. She's done explaining what went wrong. She's just showing what survival looks like when you stop letting someone else narrate your story. Because the real glow-up isn't a new man or a new headline. It's waking up one day and realizing you're not angry anymore. You're just done. And if there's one thing Jeannie's proving right now, it's that being done doesn't mean being defeated. It means being reborn. Because the moment you stop trying to fix the version of someone they pretended to be, that's when you finally meet the version of yourself they could never handle. And that's exactly who Jeannie Mai is now. Unbothered, unbroken, and undeniably hers again. And now the silence that once made Jeannie look like the victim is working in her favor. Because while Jeezy's team is still playing damage control, Jeannie's not saying a word. And that quiet is louder than any press release. Every day that passes without her reacting makes his side look shakier. The fans see it. The blogs see it. The narrative's flipped. Jeezy might have filed first, but Jeannie's the one finishing strong. She's using her platform like therapy. Not to vent, but to evolve in real time. She's talking about motherhood, about rediscovering herself, about how betrayal doesn't define you. It refines you. That's the version of Jeannie people always hope to see. Not the polished TV host, but the woman underneath who's not afraid to say, "Yeah, I got played, but I'm still standing." Meanwhile, Jeezy's whole self-growth act is wearing thin. The more he talks about peace and maturity, the less authentic it sounds. Every time he posts something like, "Letting go is freedom," the comments fill with people reminding him that he let go by filing papers behind his wife's back. You can't preach love and loyalty when your receipts show betrayal. The audience isn't buying it anymore. And it's not just fans. People inside the industry are starting to whisper that Jeezy overplayed his hand. He wanted to look evolved, but he underestimated how deeply people connected with Jeannie's vulnerability. She wasn't pretending to be perfect. She just told the truth. And in a world full of fake narratives, that hits harder than any image management ever could. Those close to Jeannie say she's been turning her pain into structure. She wakes up early, journals daily, prays, and pours herself into work. Her posts now have a calm energy, like she's finally building without distraction. She's learning to separate peace from people, love from performance. Every quote she shares feels like a quiet warning to anyone who thought they could use her softness again. And it's working. Because while Jeezy's engagement online keeps dropping, Jeannie's brand is rising higher than ever. Her clips about healing are trending. Her interviews are pulling huge numbers. And her audience, especially women, are rallying behind her. Not as a celebrity, but as someone who survived being emotionally manipulated in public and came out shining. People are calling her the blueprint for boundaries. She's become a walking reminder that heartbreak doesn't have to make you bitter. It can make you brave. And that's the difference between her and Jeezy right now. He's still trying to prove he's evolved. She's already showing it. Behind closed doors, though, Jeannie is still processing everything. Friends say she's open about how deep the wounds go, but she refuses to let them define her. She said that Monaco, their daughter, is her reason for moving differently now. She doesn't want her little girl to ever see her mother chasing closure from someone who already showed he doesn't deserve access. Instead, she's pouring that energy into creating the kind of peace she was always looking for in other people. She's healing for real this time. Not for the cameras, not for validation, but for herself. And that's why her recent line hit everyone so hard when she said, "You don't lose yourself when someone leaves. You lose yourself when you stop believing you deserve better." The internet went wild. Because it wasn't shade, it was truth. And that's the kind of truth that burns slow but lasts forever. Jeezy can hide behind interviews and book tours, but the truth always finds its way out. And right now, it's standing in heels, smiling with peace in her eyes, and answering to the name Jeannie Mai Jenkins. What started as heartbreak turned into a warning. What looked like the end became her reintroduction. Because when a woman realizes she was never the problem, only the mirror, she stops chasing apologies and starts building empires. She's not waiting for him to clear her name. She's already written it in gold. And somewhere out there, Jeezy's still trying to look calm while the whole world's watching the woman he thought he broke quietly rise above him. If you've ever been doubted, used, or made to question your worth, remember Jeannie's glow up. It's not revenge, it's resurrection. Because at the end of the day, karma doesn't hit hard, it hits poetic. And Jeannie, she's the poem. Like, comment, share your thoughts below, and make sure you're subscribed, because the next story we're diving into might just make this one look calm.